it's been the conversation over this last week of, we saw the skills competition and the game in Florida, and it's been a lot of maybe even a little bit more of the complaints of what has been over the last few years, right?
Yeah.
Just it feels kind of slow. It's not as exciting anymore, whether you're in the building or watching on TV, right? Like you said, you're kind of like you're throwing on the skills in the background almost.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about this a little bit more because there were some comments comparing the AHL All-Star weekend, which was considered by fans and the AHL themselves to be a absolute success. And fans especially just really enjoyed it. And I was seeing a lot of, like, this is even better than the NHL one. And a friend of mine as well, Mike Gould, was there in Laval as well for the All-Star weekend covering it, and he was posting lots about it. And from what I was able to gather, as well as watching the highlights there on the AHL YouTube channel for the skills competition, at least, yeah, it's better. It's better by miles. Yeah, so a couple comments here coming from the Laval Rockets forward Anthony Richard in an article here from Herb Zurkowski from the Montreal Gazette. He said, "We keep it simple and gave it a great effort. And usually when you combine the two, it gives a good show. If you're trying to do too much, it's a bit boring. Look at the NFL. They're not doing a real game anymore. What's the point of going to see guys if they don't put on the helmets or pads?"
Yeah.
We have less budget than the NHL, but I'd say we did a better job overall of showing our skill while keeping it simple for the fans. The NHL has to take note of what we did this weekend. It was a great show. It's all young guys who want to show their skill. You don't want to be the guy who's not trying hard. The game was on TV. Everyone wants to leave a good impression. You want to be the guy that shows his skills on a weekend like that.
I was just going to kind of say, like, just thinking about it when you were like, yeah, the reception was like miles better. I didn't see anything from the AHL one, so I can't compare personally, but it does just sort of make sense. Like it seems like the NHL is trying too hard to make it the most exciting thing that you could possibly watch on your Friday or Saturday afternoon or evening. And I think a lot of it is like because of their budget. They're like, oh, we just got like, millions, thousands, millions of dollars to throw at this event to try to make it exciting. What can we come up with? What can we tell everybody that this is what they want to see? Whereas the AHL and some of the individual team skills competitions just have a much lower budget. So it's like, okay, well, we can do fastest skater. That's literally free. All we have to do is, set up the nets and make players skate around them in a lap. I mean, it's not free. You have to like get, timers, radar guns. Like it's pretty budget. The accuracy shooting, again, you just got to get some styrofoam targets and put them up in the net. Like it's pretty basic. And just to compare that to the NHL, that was one of the most exciting events this year, was the accuracy shooting for them, because they just did styrofoam targets and they were like, shoot the puck. Just shoot the puck at these targets. It became lame when they had the digital screen that didn't even fucking work. And it was just
exactly.
Like, instead of they tried a different target,
version, like, and another version, and another version. Like I'm pretty sure they tried 3 different versions of it before they were just like, okay, yeah, fine, we'll go back to the styrofoam pucks, like the styrofoam discs, and everyone's like, thank fucking God.
But like that's exciting because you're like, oh my God, the styrofoam thing exploded. Like they just rifled it through that.
Yeah, exactly. Even just seeing styrofoam explode, like hockey fans are a simple people.
We're humans.
Big hits, big goals, and shit popping off every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. But like we don't want to just see like a digital screen covered by a thick sheet of plastic, and instead of an exploding styrofoam target, we just hear thunk, and then there's like a little light.
Yeah,
like, that's not what screams hockey.
Or there's no light, or just not. The thing doesn't register. Yeah, exactly.
So, but so just taking those two as an example, like that's easy, and then just looking at the names. The name of this one event is Pass and Score. I would love to see people just pass and score. Like, why do we have to make it complicated?
Yeah. So I do want to get to this one last comment, and then I do want to go into what the events were.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think a lot of them are enticing and do solve a lot of the NHL's
They're just
problems.
simple. Yeah.
So AHL president Scott Howson responded to comments about the AHL skills competition being more entertaining than the NHL's. He said, well, ours is a traditional skills event. I know the NHL is trying new things, and I applaud them for that. They tried a whole bunch of new things in Vegas last year. They tried some things in Florida. I don't know why they do that or whether it's player driven, league driven. I don't know.
Not player driven.
I can just tell you that our players are engaged and they got competitive last night. That is exactly what I was talking about on Sunday. Guys do not want to fucking be there, right? And they aren't trying.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest case for it actually is the winners of the fastest skater, which was done the exact same way by the AHL as it is for the NHL. Just to reiterate, the fastest time this year for the NHL fastest skater was Andrei Svechnikov of the Carolina Hurricanes at 13.699 seconds, which is pretty damn fast.
It's speedy for sure. Yeah.
And then you had this year for the AHL, Ethan Frank of the Hershey Bears, the affiliate of the Washington Capitals, setting an AHL record as well for this event, 12.915 seconds.
Yeah. Like
that's a whole,
doesn't make sense.
That's more than half a second.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Like you can't tell me that those 8 NHL players aren't faster than this one guy who's in the AHL. Like, yeah, it's entirely possible that the guy's in the AHL because he's literally all speed and no hands. Like, there's even guys like that in the NHL that, like, man, they can fucking skate and like they got good edge work and all that stuff, but just like brick hands. Like they can't stick handle to save their lives. So like, it's entirely possible. That's why he's down in the AHL. But like, there's got to be somebody there that can do it in faster than 12. I mean, we've seen some of those guys do it in faster than 12 seconds. They just weren't up for it. So
exactly.